Hey guys, it's Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, and I share the Bible that's business inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So if you're new to the channel, thanks so much for being here. Please do go ahead and subscribe. You can hit the like button while you're at it. And for those of you who are returning, you know I really appreciate you. On this channel, I talk about beauty, business inspiration, share some lifestyle content, and I'm trying to get back into the enjoyment. But honestly, life has just been crazy, honestly, the past few years. But I am the Minister of Beauty, and I am a licensed esthetician. I'm also a skincare line creator. I'm a business owner and operator of this month, officially in September 2024. It's been 16 years, and I'm so grateful for how far I have come and that I'm still here. But I wanted to talk about this because this was a discussion that I had with someone recently, and it was regarding rhinoplasty. And I also saw this video of a reality show personality by the name of Chantel. She was on a show called 90 Day Fiance, and then she also had a spin-off regarding her and her husband, now ex-husband. So before I get into the topic, I want to share this video that she did of herself, and then we'll get into the discussion. All right, so you saw the video of Chantal, and or is it Chantel? I can't remember how it's pronounced, no disrespect, but honestly I was a bit disappointed because I can clearly see that even though she's showing it off, even if she didn't show it off, I could tell that she's had some work done to her face, and it primarily looks like fillers, maybe some Botox, and for sure she had her lips done. I just recently did a video about this where Simone Biles talked about her experience getting Botox and why she won't ever do it again. If you have not seen that video, please do go and check that video out. But here's the thing. When it comes to Chantel, I believe she's a nurse, so she probably is one who performs those services, as well as she is one that is receiving the services also. I do believe that it's a bit much, and she was already a very pretty girl. But here's the thing that I want to say with regards to that, because like I said previously, I had a discussion with someone recently about rhinoplasty, and did I feel that, because if you all don't know, I actually had a rhinoplasty done. It's going on, actually it's been 14 years now since I had the rhinoplasty done, and I have zero regrets. I'm so glad that I did it. But here's what I want to say to that. I did it for me. I didn't do it because I had pressure. I didn't do it because anyone was teasing me growing up. I didn't do it because I was trying to get into some certain industry or anything like that. I did it because it was something that I wanted to do so that I could feel better about myself when I looked in the mirror, because quite frankly, I felt that the size of my nose and my nostrils, it was much bigger for the frame of my face and even my body, because I've always been a smaller frame person, and I still am to this day. But the discussion that I had with someone recently, which I thought was really ridiculous, because this is someone that I've known for years, and it was just out of the blue, and they said, let me ask you something. Do you feel like you having your nose done makes you look different than the rest of your family, and do you feel bad about not looking like your family anymore? And I said, well, first of all, that's a stupid question, because I still look like my family. But just because I got something done for me doesn't mean that I was ashamed of my family or anything like that. And I did it because it was something that I want to do. And I still look like my son. He still looks like me. I still look like, you know, a mixture of my mom and dad. But my mom's nose is smaller and my dad's nose is much larger. I'm not saying men don't get noses done, but you see more females getting noses done than men. And one of the reasons why is because having a smaller nose versus a larger nose, it is something that just looks a bit more feminine than having a larger schnoz on your face. That has nothing to do with being ashamed of my heritage or my family or where I come from. It's about wanting to look a certain type of way, and I have no qualms about it, absolutely none. But I didn't go overboard with it. I'm not doing a Michael Jackson and trying to continue to shave things down. I already knew that once I had that done, that was going to be it. I haven't had anything else done to my face, and I've talked about the procedures that I have had, and you can go and check those videos out. They are on my Natural Beauty and Enhanced Beauty playlist, just like the video that I'm doing right now, as well as certain procedures that I won't ever get done and why. So when it comes to Chantel, she was already beautiful, but for whatever reason, she chose to get those things done for herself. I know she went through a divorce. I believe she said her husband was unfaithful. And sometimes when people go through situations like that in relationships, it can cause some self-esteem issues, feeling low and depressed and whatnot. And that may be the way they choose to make themselves feel better, or maybe even feel like they're getting back at that person or whatever. But when it comes to the face and facial fillers and lip injections and all of those different things like that, you really have to be extremely careful. And I can already tell, I'm not a nurse, I am a licensed esthetician, but I can already tell that that's something that she's just going to have to continue to keep up with. And yeah, she can eventually get the facial fillers dissolved if she decides to do so. We know Black China, she did it. There's a few other people that have talked about getting it done. And Black China actually looks really great. She looks great because honestly, she just did not look, she didn't look normal. I was about to say another word, but she didn't look really normal when she had those fillers. And now I feel like she looks more human having those facial fillers dissolved. And when it comes to Chantel and the work that she's had done to her face, when I saw it, and immediately I just said, oh man, I hope she'll get to the point where she's happy with who she is, happy with where she is in her life, whether she's in a relationship with anyone or not, because I know that she went through a divorce, and I also believe that she was on the 90-day single life, whatever it's called, where it's someone who was previously on the 90-day fiance. They were married, and for whatever reasons the marriage didn't work out, and then they had a spinoff where those people were dating other people trying to find their next mate, husband or wife, you know. And she's probably in a space right now where she's just wanting to feel good about herself, and I get that. But never allow your feelings to motivate your decisions for getting all types of work done like that. Never, like, when I say never allow your feelings, don't allow your feelings for a moment to be the motivating factor for why you decide to get things like that done. The procedures that I had done, which was the rhinoplasty, the abdominoplasty, and the breast lift that included augmentation, because I really just wanted to get a lift, but I had multiple consultations and they all said you have to get the implants in order to hold the shape. All of those things I did them after many years of consideration, numbers of consultations, lots of thought and prayers. I didn't do anything on a whim. So when I say don't do it just in your feelings, I mean those feelings that just come and they could go. The things that I had done, those were things that I had considerations for doing for many years. And when I finally had the opportunity and made the decision to do it, I moved forward with it and I had no regrets. And I'm not saying that I wasn't nervous, It's never like, oh, fun, I'm going to go have surgery. They're going to put me to sleep. I'm going to be out for hours. I'm going to be in pain afterwards. I'm going to be recovering. I'm going to have stitches. None of that stuff is fun. Okay? But after and after and after the healing and the emotional and all that other stuff, then how will you feel? And I look back on it and I have no regrets. People like, just giving an example, because there's so many examples, but when I think of someone like Nene Leakes, who was on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, she's had a number of things done, and I believe she also uses photo filters and, you know, those different things like that for social media. She's a woman of a certain age now, and she doesn't even look the same. And when I look back at those old episodes of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, I thought that she was a pretty woman. I'm not saying that she isn't pretty now, but again, I do feel like the pressures that come with being in that industry, it comes with those considerations. And then when you go in for one thing and then you decide to get something else done, and now I'm going to get something else done, and now I'm going to get something else done, you really have to be careful when it comes to that, because before you know it, you could come out looking like somebody either completely different, or you definitely don't look the same. But when it comes to me and that discussion that I have with someone about what I decided to have done, I was like, that doesn't even compute with me, because I still look like myself. I don't look any different from my family. I actually look more like my mom now than I did my dad, and I have no problems with that. I wasn't trying to get a white girl nose or whatever, you know how some people call it. My nose is still a certain size. It's just not as large as it was. So I didn't do anything drastic. And I also was like, you know, this person that I had the discussion with, knowing me for all of these years, I'm like, what prompted you to even bring that up now? Like, I just really feel like that's ridiculous. But you never know when it comes to people. So I just wanted to talk about that. Chantel, plastic surgery, the reasons people do it, and if you're going to do it, why you should and why you shouldn't. I've done a number of videos talking about this topic, so you can go and check those other videos out. But when it comes to the face, you have to be really careful and conservative. And although Chantel is still a beautiful woman, I just am not digging all of the fillers, and I think it would do her well to dissolve some of it a bit. But that's just my personal opinion. It's her life to live, and it's her face to fill. So guys, you can tell me how you feel about it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey as a minister of beauty. When I share the Bible, that's business inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So until the next time, I hope and pray you all have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day. Dream.